this dinosaur thing. We tried to get it one time before and we couldn't. What Weyland-Yutani is doing, guess what? They're not using humans. They are sending out 100% synth crews. So this makes me wonder too now, Rashad, where are we in this alien predator timeline?
Hey, what's up? It's Rashad Antonio, man. We are the Upon Further Review back. It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's the last thing we did.
I don't know. Go look back on the channel.
Yeah.
Anyway, Predator Badlands came out this past weekend. We were a little late in the review. Had to go to the Commanders game, watch them lose horrifically. But other than that, we're back on track. If you haven't seen it, I reviewed the first two episodes of Pluribus on Apple TV Plus. It's looking to be a good
I
series.
never even heard of this, so
Looking to be a good. Vince Gilligan, one writer and maker, director of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, is show running and wrote and direct the pilot, basically the first pilot episode. So yeah,
okay.
give it a watch. All spoilers, man. Predator Badlands, and we have been kind of chronicling the lead up to this a little bit because we definitely talked about Predator Killer Killers that's on the
Hmm.
channel. We also did the Alien Earth series. You know what
We
I'm
did
saying?
Prey back in the day too, didn't we? Or we
Nah, we
didn't?
didn't. We didn't do. I don't
Okay.
think we did Prey.
Okay.
I think we talked about it because I saw it late. We talked
Okay.
about it offline, like after the fact. But we
Okay.
definitely have referenced Prey, and we've seen like basically the entirety of both of those franchises.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call myself an aficionado, but I know enough to be dangerous, as the folks would say.
Yeah.
And this, okay. What's your initial impressions?
My initial impressions of this, um, this of course is an action movie, but
First and
you know,
foremost.
foremost, me and Rashad was having a conversation before this. This is a family movie as well. This goes back to the old saying where you can't choose your family, but you can choose the family for you. And I think that is the overall arc of this. And did I like it? Yes, I liked it for what it was. I liked it. I mean, I've heard some people say they liked it. Heard some people like, and whatever like that or whatnot. And I like it because you actually get to see, and this is going to be weird saying this, the Yautja have humanity. You know what I'm saying? See, because we've never really seen that with the Yautjas. We just know that they are a warrior race. They just want to be like, hey, ain't no, you know what I'm saying? We 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 the ultimate predators out here. What was the lines that came up before when the movie first started about no Yautja is prey or you know what I'm saying, Rashad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember you
Yeah,
talking
it
about,
was
yeah.
something like that or whatnot. But you get to see um how their clan culture works. You get to see some trash, parenting going on. And but like I say, it goes back to humanity because of how the movie started. Because that was basically 15-minute cold open, Rashad, before we even see the title screen.
Yeah, like I forgot that we didn't even see the title.
We didn't right. I didn't even forgot we didn't even see the title screen until my man crash landed on the daggone on the Gemma,
Yeah, Genna.
Gemma,
Yeah,
Genna, the
Genna.
planet Genna, you know what I'm saying, which um the the lead character of this movie, his brother was like, "Oh, this is Genna, this the death planet. Like this the death planet. Like, nah, bro, you don't want to get like we don't even really go there for real like that unless you really try to prove a point or whatnot." So yeah, I think that's my overall arc of it. An action movie about family and the family that you choose instead of the family um that you are born into the world in. What about you?
I think that's a good summation because you already know I love a found family.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of this, like he found his clan
Yeah.
and retribution was served. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one. Two, I absolutely love that they're just blowing up this shared alien predator universe
Mm-hmm.
because the Weyland-Yutani angle in this movie just goes it just okay, if y'all watch Alien Earth, the number one question I ask is why is y'all bringing this up to Earth? And the fact that they were trying to bring this beast called a Callisk
They was gonna break it.
to Earth.
It's
This thing is essential,
diabolical.
nigga. It's a dinosaur. They try to bring
Yeah.
a regenerative dinosaur to Earth
Mm-hmm.
because it has regenerative properties
Mm-hmm.
and it could bode well for whatever advancement they're trying to do medicinally or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
biochemically. I don't know. You never know because
Right. It could have been so
Whaley's
much stuff medical. It could have been done medical use. You think about how they say what you lose brain cells every day. You lose so many brain cells and stuff. Maybe that was going to help regenerate brain cells, or else
bruh, like
dementias and
Whaley
stuff like
Utani,
that.
man, like they are like the epitome of a dice roll. Like they may crap out, but when they hit big because
Yeah.
they are actively trying to find the best way to kill everybody on Earth. And it is just so funny to watch. Secondly, let me say this before I
Great.
forget.
Uh-huh.
They said, hey, there's a Yautja running around that. How about y'all pick that up too and bring it to Earth? So
Yeah.
they had the audacity to bring this callus, this dinosaur that
Uh-huh.
regenerates,
Uh-huh.
and a freaking predator just
Crazy.
because.
Yeah, right. I mean, just because you know, it's what was that? What's that movie, Strangers or whatever? The killers were trying to get the people inside the cabin, and they're like, "Why are you doing this?" Because you were here. That's exactly what they did with the Yautja. They're like, "Why?" Well, he's here, and like you said, we saw in Predator in Alien Earth how they basically went to all these different worlds over a 50-year span and was just collecting, different species, plant life and all that stuff. But this goes back to also um what my man Wayland, what Mr. Wayland is trying to do. He's trying to defeat death. He wants to have like everlasting life, longevity. This goes back to Prometheus when he finally met one of the engineers and was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what's the purpose here? Hey, how do I expand life and stuff?" And he was like, "Dude, we made y'all. Get out. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here." Stuff like this. And they're just trying to pick things to make people live longer than the life expectancy. What is it, Rashad? Like the basic human life expectancy is like what, anywhere from 75 to 80 years or
Yeah,
something,
something like that.
something like
Yeah.
that. And my man out they're trying to live millennias and stuff. So yeah, that was wild. That whole aspect of it is wild. Like, hey, ooh, look at this dinosaur thing. We tried to get it one time before and we couldn't, even though we had. And the thing is, what Weyland-Yutani is doing too, they don't care about what they use because guess what? They're not using humans. They are sending out
That's what I was about to say
100%
that.
synth, 100% synth. I don't want to say armies, but crews, 100% synth crews. So this makes me wonder too now, Rashad, where are we in this alien predator timeline? Because we don't
I
get any.
don't
Right.
know.
That's
I
one of my big
mean,
questions.
that's
Where
a
are
good
we
question.
in this alien? Because we've seen it ever since we were kids with Alien, that it was always like one synth, maybe two, and the whole crew is human. Because I guess you got to have that human mentality element. However, you see on this one, it's an entire synth operation. Like they said, what's the girl Thea said it. They're all synth. We have all these synth crews going out, and there's one sentient being that is like in charge of them all, which is the computer of the ship's mother
Just
or
mother.
whatever.
Yeah.
Mother.
So let me ask you a question.
Uh huh.
So is mother ship dependent or is Mother like just this overarching AI? Because there's no like, because even let's go back to just to Alien Earth when
Okay.
when our boy was logging into back to the computer, he said, I gotta talk to Mother. And it felt like it was only for the ship.
Right. So keep talking. I'm gonna tell you what I
Yeah.
gotta once I find the
Yeah,
name of
because
it.
it
I'm
felt
gonna
like
say
it's on because even when you go back to like to the original Alien, like it was they were just essentially just talking to the ship. So and this time they was again in the ship talking to Mother, and it's just I really wonder if like if it's ship dependent or if it's like some sort of like collective computer.
I'm gonna tell you what Mother was reminding me of, and I think it might be ship depend, or if it is a one total thing, it reminds me of in Captain Marvel, the Supreme Intelligence,
Oh, that's a good
which
reference.
runs the Kree. The Kree
That's a
know this is an
good
AI,
that's
so
a
he and
good
it runs
reference.
everything with them, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
like
I'm
that.
just this just kind of dawned on me because I was listening, I was watching the movie. I was like, he said, Mother, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh,
Hmm.
it sounds the same. It functions the same way. It's very
Hmm.
like, hey man, uh, get to the point. Like
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah,
do the job, go back to the job.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And then the fact that like they listen to it like
Hmm.
with such like it's gospel to them.
Hmm.
It just kind of I'm just really wondering like how that functions, even if they even gonna tell us like how that actually functions.
Right. I thought was what I thought was funny too, like you said, how Mother basically is running everything, even with Tessa after the other synths found Tessa after what I'm saying, the attack when they went after the callus and they what I'm saying, hooked her back up to the machine, and Mother was talking to her and was like, hey, you screwing up on basically you screwing up. You if you don't finish this, if you don't start completing your missions, you are you have been you will be obsolete to us, and ready to get out. It's also kind of crazy too that Thea and Tessa are basically the only two synths that Mother has downloaded feelings into so they can get feelings. But it seemed like Tessa said F those feelings. She to me was reminding me so much of what's our boy from Alien Earth, Kirsch, the synth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Kirsch or
yeah,
whatever. Because remember, he was like, "Would you stop acting like they kids? They machines or whatever." But you see that Thea has so much more humanity, and she's like, "Hey," like even when it was gonna take the Yautja Dax, he was like, "Hey, what are we doing? Like, yo, we don't need him or whatever like that." They were like, well, "Hey, we caught him. We said, hey, Mother, we got this Yautja. Yeah, bring that along too,
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever."
yeah, 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 yeah. A
So
little,
yeah.
little consolation prize,
Hmm.
and like that to me that was a good like juxtaposition. Have like the angry robot
Hmm.
and like the more caring and lover. Even the fact that she was like, "Look, yo, like, he saved me when I was in
Uh-huh.
the in the nest and
Hmm.
everything," and that was just it was just like really it's really it was just fun watching.
Almost like a Vision Ultron type thing too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Another one, man. Like just the ship of Theseus all over again.
Yeah.
Like that's a really good point because they how can I say this? The fact that they paired him like that,
Hmm.
and I mean, it's kind of like an easy trope to do, but I
Hmm.
think it played really well because the way that Elle Fanning, shout out Elle Fanning, she
Yeah.
like she played those roles,
Hmm.
like it was really like she did a really good job because like she was playing both of them, right?
Yeah. Right. I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Because
I'm
I
just
was
making
confused
sure.
too. I was like, is Elle Fanning and then and they were, and she basically was like, yo, we sisters. We're sisters.
This is like the year of the twins. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. It's been
Sci-fi version of a sci-fi space version of Sinners, with
a nah, we cousins.
cousins.
No, for
All right.
real, man. Like that was the what okay, so
So let's talk about how this movie starts off, yo.
all
Can we talk
right.
about that? Okay.
Yes.
So the movie starts off, we're on Yautja Prime, and you see there is a predator, a Yautja. For those of y'all that don't know, the predators, the and all that, you are one ugly mother. That race is known as the Yautja or whatever. So you see that the Yautja is they're on Yautja Prime, their home world. And then there is one of the predators who's like he's hunting or something like that. And he goes into a cave and he's like, and they're speaking their language, their language, the Yautja language. And he says, "Brother, I know you in here." Like basically, I can smell you, nigga. You in here or whatever. And and so that's the older Yautja that's saying this, and that older Yautja name is Qui or whatever,
Quay. Yeah. Yes,
Quay or
Quay.
whatever, black name, Quay. And so out of nowhere, you see another Yautja, and they start battling. And this Yautja is a little shorter, little smaller guy, and that's Dek, our what I'm saying, our main character. And they're battling and boom and this and Kui is like you see like so far advanced, and it's giving big brother little brother where the big brother is like what I'm saying, the star athlete in high school. He's like, he's Mr. Everything. The parents, like that's our boy right
That's
there
our
and
boy.
everything. And then you got the little brother who wants just the approval and he wants to show that he's just as good or as better as his brother. And he bests him in battle.
Yeah.
And the older brother Quay, he puts his like laser blade down or whatever, and he's like, Deck is like, hey man, pick that back up because he's like, you can't attack him if he ain't got his weapon or whatever. It seems like in this or whatever. And he was like, man, it's over. Let's just go. And then he's like, hey man, you got to get your stuff together, or else you ain't gonna never be part of the clan or whatnot. So they go to Quay's spaceship, and he's like, yo, in order to be part of clan, you have to pick what your prey is going to be. And so they're scanning through the computer that he has of all these different types of preys or whatever. I guess species or whatever you can come back. Where if you come back one of those species, it says, "Oh, you that nigga basically. You in trap." I was looking to see Rashad. I didn't see a xenomorph up there. Did you see? Did you see one?
Nah, this is
Okay.
Xeno. All I think I saw was like a dinosaur head.
Right, dinosaur, all that stuff like that. So next thing you know, you scrolling. Dex says, "Hey, woo, go back. What's this?" He was like, the older brother Quee was like, "Oh yeah, that's a callus." And then here go Deck, and Deck is a runt, yo. He's little. He like, that's what I want right there. He said, "Man, bro." He was like, slow your roll, small fry. Relax, little brother." No, he was like, "No, that's what I want." He was like, "Hey man, that's a callus. That's a callus." He said, "Father is afraid of that thing right there." Like, and then when he said that, that gave him even more. He was like, "Oh, he is?
Mm,
That's what I choose." And he's like, "No, dude. He says, you know what this means if you leave and you choose this as your prey and you don't come back with it, you can't come back home. Or if you do, you're dead." And I'm not gonna. He's basically like, "Yo, I'm not gonna allow my little brother to die. Like, it's over." And he like, "Man, whatever. This is what I want." And then everything gets interrupted because someone is heading towards them on a speeder. It looks like, and it's their father.
yeah.
My man get off, and you could tell he's an old grizzled Yautja predator. My man has his gray dreadlocks. He got the gray beard coming through under his helmet that he got on. And oh, even before we get to that, we see on the ship that's Quee's ship, Deck is just looking through some of his stuff, and he like, "Hey man, you still got this toy that we had when we was kids?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." He said, "You saved my life with this. You lost the fang." And then you look, you see the tip of one of his fangs
Yeah, yeah, it's
is
definitely
actually
gone.
broken or whatever. He's like, you saved my life or whatever. He was like, I'll never forget that. You my brother. So let's get back to the father pulls up and he looking, and you see little bro like ODing. My father, I get on one knee,
Yeah,
love
just
you, blah 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 blah.
just a
Like,
crazy amount of deference going on.
yeah, just trying his best just to get the approval. He look at him, then he looks at Quee, the older brother, and said, "Hey, what is he still doing here?" And the little brother was like, "What?" He was like, "You were supposed to call him." Little brother said, "I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. What?"
Like call the herd? Like what?
Call,
Like calling photos?
call,
Like what do you
call,
mean? Call me?
call me? And then he was like, "Father, no." He says, "Our clan is one of the strongest." He said, "He's weak. He's little. We can't have that here. You were supposed to call him. Hey, I know it's your brother. You should have did it in his sleep." I said, "Yo, did he say kill this kid, this dude?" And you see he's looking like, and then he was
I ain't
just
want to kill
like,
my bro, yo.
and then he was just like, "All right, I don't got time for this." So he throws this device. One thing about the Yautjas, they have some high tech stuff. I really wish they would show they would show how they create a lot of their stuff too, as well as technical. Because they did, it ain't like they just a monster. I just want to be I just want to go out. No,
Nah,
these
it's a lot of technique
yeah,
involved.
it's a lot of technique and everything. So it's some type of laser like netting grid type thing, and it holds them down. And you see, Deck is eyes are like, Lord, please, Jesus, don't do this. I'm sorry. He had that look, and then and then the father tells his brother Queen, do it, and he's like, Father, no, please, blah 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 blah, this and that. And he's like, Queen, come on, bro, don't. And Queen, you see, he look at his father, he like, oh boy. He lifts up the sword and he sets him free. The father sees this and loses his mind and starts to attack the brother, and they are going full blown at it. And he basically was like, "You are weak, just as weak as him, if you can't do this, because he's weak." And somehow Quee like kind of pushes or gets some type of blast that knocks Deck
Yeah, it
into
knocks
the
me to the ship.
spaceship.
Yeah.
He pushes the button on this thing to lock him in. And Deck wants to get out there to help his brother. He's like watching it, can't do. He looking like Obi-Wan where Darth Maul was fighting Qui-Gon and Phantom Menace behind the laser shield. I got references all day for this, Rashad. To quote Cat, I can do this all day. Yeah, whatever. So, and so he's just sitting there like, no. The father washes Quee. I mean, cut his arm off
Quickly.
quickly, cut his arm off and everything. Quee had to kind of roll over to his severed arm to push the buttons on his severed
It's
arm
like,
man
yo.
to send the ship out for his brother to go do what he got to do. And he was just like, hey, catch that thing or don't basically come back and like catch it. And then his father proceeds to grab his brother by the head and decapitate him, looking Deck dead in the eyes as he do it.
Side note,
Uh-huh.
I do appreciate the fact that there are no humans in this.
Yes.
So everybody's dying.
Oh yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
and that was a smart move because
Mm-hmm.
this movie could have easily been R-rated, but the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it wasn't showing human blood, he
Mm-hmm.
was able to kind of get all them kills like that with the simps on the planet. And that's a real
And some good kills
that's
too.
some good yeah, that's a great way to kind of skirt around
Mm-hmm.
the sensors. So
Mm-hmm.
when he gets to the planet, like one, he has the most spectacular crash. Like he wakes up acts in as he is descending in the planet. not knowing what the hell's going on. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? He has
Hmm.
to eject. As he ejects, he's getting attacked as he's on his descent.
Hmm.
Crash land, ship is somewhere, he's somewhere else. And the first 10 minutes of him being on this planet is this planet is trying to kill him
Kill him.
and
The
kill him
Death Planet.
fast.
Yeah. It was like a tree. It was like a tree monster type thing
Like
where the
vines or something.
vines were
Yeah.
eating the stuff, and he had to get away from that. And then he roaming around, and there's the flying thing that was a like pterodactyl thing that was a, and that thing smart as hell because Dex walking and he's noticing when he gets closer to these type of plant, you see his needles on them, and they start to
Expand.
expand like they're about to blow up. But then he backs up. Straight. And so what does this flying thing do? This pterodactyl thing is taking like rocks or whatever, dropping it in that field of stuff so their things can poof or whatever. And that's where we meet Thea, who's basically like in the crucifix position tied up in the nest. And she's like, hey, Yautja. The Yautja turned around and looked, and she's like, hold on. And starts speaking to universal translator. And she was like, yo, so I'm speaking whatever, so you can understand me. And I'm like, okay, that's a nice way to make it so the crowd or whatever like that. And
Appreciate
she's
it.
like, yeah, so there's this field here. That thing is basically trying to get you to get spiked by one of these things. You get paralyzed so it can eat you. She's like, help me so I can help you. And you're like, man, I don't need no help. I mean, y'all just, she was like, no, homie, that ain't it. And sure enough, what happened? He gets he gets pricked with a couple of them daggone. And she's like, it don't take long. I can help. He was like, help. He pushes the button of the thing. It sends like a little batarang looking blade thing to her. I told you I got references all day. And she catches it, and she's able to catch it, and she's cut herself free, and she saves him by killing the thing, and she kind of takes whatever it's like a flower or whatever that's like been infused with this poison that has turned it into an anecdote, and she cures them and stuff, and she's like, hey, how you doing? And he picks her up and is like, hey, where the hell are your legs at, girl? Like, where your legs at? She was like, yeah, I'm a synth, blah blah blah, this and that. He was like, all right, threw her down. She was like, no, I can help you. He was like, oh, you're a tool. All right, tool, you're gonna, because he's like, I gotta hunt alone. And she's like, well, no, I can help you. He was like, oh, like you're a tool, like a weapon to
So
help.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know what a callus nest is. You know what I'm saying? He
Hmm.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, so okay.
Yeah.
Strap that. He strapped that hoe on his back.
And she was a talking ass heifer.
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
I was like, yo,
She was talking the entire time.
it was reminding me of someone we was in a band with, Rashad, that played piccolo. I'm gonna leave it at that. Made icon.
Remind me of my youngest child, yo. Just be talking like wow. Stop.
What it was also like too when you be sitting there like, hey, dad, mom, dad, look, watch this,
It
and then
was
just
a
run,
yeah.
and
It
then just
was a
run
lot of
back and
that. It was a
forth, and
lot of
you
that
be
energy. Yeah.
like, what?
You just
So
wasting my time.
yeah,
Nah,
go ahead.
nah, but Thea is super inquisitive. They stumble
Hmm.
upon this like little creature actually helps them out.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is because there's isn't the tree thing?
So it started with they saw like a bison, like a space bison type thing.
Yeah.
And she was telling him like, "Hey, yeah, that's what the callus eat." And he like, "Well, shit, that's what I'm gonna eat." And he tries to go to the field, and she's like, "Mm-mm," because it's a grass that's like,
It's
let's
like
say, diamond sharp. It's like diamond's the hardest stuff, but it's sharp. And she says, "Yeah, that's razor glass. Yeah, you take 3 steps in, you're gonna get cut the hell up or whatever. You can't get in there." And so he tries to take the tree route, and she's like, "Hey, yo, chill with the trees. There's these type of spiders that's up there. These giant bug-like spider things are up there." So he he's doing that, and then you see like this little creature thing that comes along, helps them. They take out the bison thing, they take out the spider thing, and she's like, "Oh man, he helped. That's great." That thing looked at, he looked at it. Dek looked at it. That thing looked at him and was like, "I like you." Spit on him. He was like, "Mother." She was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I think that's just it's trying to say you're accepted. It likes you." And he's like, Dek is still like, this little nigga spit on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
Yeah.
But it's one of them. Think of it too as in Doom when it was like, thank you for offering your body's moisture or whatever like this. So it's spit. I told you I got it all day, just
Damn.
popping like that. And so it's spit on him and like, all right, cool. And so next thing you see that they're breaking bread and they're eating. He's eating, y'all just eating the little bison thing. And you see the thing trying to reach you like, hey, it's away from there. And he offers it to, she was like, yo, I don't eat. Hey, but our friend over there, he looks hungry. He's like, and he did help. And he's like, whatever, gave him something. He was happy. But and then too, it goes back into like being a child watching like a parent figure or something. That little thing started mimicking everything Dek was doing.
Very much
Every
so.
every
Yeah.
single thing. And it was funny because Dek thought he got him. I pulled out the laser blade and was like, hey, what you think about that? Take that. And the next thing you know, he put the stick and had the tip of it on fire and was like, yeah. He was like, all right, little
Okay.
man. Okay. You got it, little
You
man.
doing too much, yo.
You doing too much. And you just got Dek just like he wakes up early, grabs Thea, and she's like, "You're not gonna wake him up?" He's like, hey,
It's like,
that's
hell nah, he's gonna get in
yeah.
my way.
I'm already gotta drag your ass around. I ain't trying to do this. And then what happened after that, Rashad?
After that, they basically that's when we get introduced to the rest of the Weyland-Yutani group.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh
they
yeah.
like they like they come in and we see that they've been trying to capture the callus. They've
Mm-hmm.
grossly underestimated
Sure enough.
what's gonna happen.
Sure enough.
We see some of the like the wreckage or like
Mm-hmm.
remains of like we see remains. We don't know if they're people or not yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yo, whatever it was,
I
that
don't know
thing
what it was.
annihilated them.
It's, it showed, what it looked like to me. Another reference I'm hit you with. It looked like when the Razor Crest got blew up on Mandalorian. Remember how that thing got blew up and it just had just scattered everywhere? That's what it looked like to me. Whatever. Rest in peace to the Razor Crest.
It's coming
What
back.
it's coming back
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
so that's what it looked like, and basically she takes him there saying, oh yeah, this is the nest or whatever, and she was like, hey, let's go in here real quick, and they go in the room, and she says, there goes my legs. And she's like trying to hook her legs back up, and she hooks herself up to the machine, and he's like, all right, so where this daggone thing at? And she like, so I lied, I used you, you need to get out of here
Right now.
because right now, because and he snapped. No one uses a Yautja. We use you. You're a tool. Blah 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 blah. He was so pissed off at her because he was a pawn. He got used because she just needed her. She like, I'm trying to get my legs back or whatever so I can go back. And then out of nowhere, what happens? The callus shows up.
Damn Callie shows up. And yo, and the cool thing was
Uh-huh.
like your boy was really he was putting in work, right?
Yes.
And he got to the point where he actually
Yeah.
cut her from the bottom, comes back up,
Uh-huh.
slices, cuts neck off, thing falls down. He's like,
Yeah.
nigga, I'm a Yautja
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden you see veins or something articulating and it catches the thing's head and
Yeah.
snaps it back.
It looked just like it looks similar to Attack on Titan after Aaron got his head cut off, got his head shot off, and it touched my man Zeke's head. I'm killing you with the references, ain't it, Rashad? Yeah, that's what it looked. That's what it reminded me of, and it just
Not
connected.
attack. Eden Jaeger.
Yeah, he just caught him, and then it was the face that Dak was like, "Oh
Yeah, he just like he
shit!"
knew he won, yo, and then all of a sudden that thing was like, nah, this is gonna be a little harder than this. And
But then we saw what happens. It catches Dak. It pins him down. It has Dak dead to rights. I'm talking right there, and it goes down and what? And you see it sniffing him, and I was like, "What
why
is
is he
it?
smelling
Why
them?
is he sniffing?" He like, "Oh," uh, and it stops. And the next thing you know, the synths show up and throw like a ice grenade. Freezes
Because he found because Tessa
this,
found
his
his
ship, right?
yeah, the ship, yeah.
Because she found his shoulder. He shot his. She found his shoulder cannon, the shoulder cannon that belonged to his brother, and like the other equipments and stuff. She throws the ice grenade, freezes not only the callus but also Dek. And next thing you know, Dek wakes up. He's strapped to a table. Daggone Tessa sitting there, Thea sitting there like, hey, I'm sorry, yo. Like, I told you leave, nigga. Like kinda like that or whatnot. And Tessa is like cold hearted, like, hey, we got the callus and we got a Yautja. Yeah, we do. And she's like, yo, you don't need the Yautja. He defective. You look at it, and she's like, and she's even talking to the Yautja, like, yeah, I went through Thea's you know what I'm saying, memory banks. Yeah, you never said exactly why you're here. But I know you had a brother. But you never said why you're here or what happened to your brother. And like, yo, like Dek is like spazzing out. He tells her, I when I get out of here, I am going to rip your spine out. He's like go all the classic ones. You wait until I get out of here, troops and everything like that. And trying to find out they're gonna take him back to Earth or whatever, the mother, and you know, hey, it is what it is. So Thea is like, no man, I'm sorry, Dek, blah 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 blah, this and that. And so they bring in some other synths, and they're like, hey, interrogate this mofo and find out what that is right there. Find out what that. And so Thea starts to talk to Dek, actually speaking Yautja and not using
Yeah.
the translator. And she's telling him like, I'm trying to help you here. And he's like, fine. And the dude Sif's like, why are you speaking this language? Hey, you heard what she said. Mother said they want to integrate. I'm trying to find out what this is. And he like, tell them. He's like, hey, that's a children's toy. But tell them it's a map. And she says, yeah, it's a map. And he's like, well, how do you open it? How do you do this? And she's like, he said, tell them put it closer to their face and look into it. You don't see this. So you see like Tessa's in another room next door, the door closed. All of a sudden you see the thing pick it up and see the head get blown off. And she's like, oh my, that's a children's toy? He like, yeah, y'all just children's toy. What the hell wrong with you? So you see, that's probably what was used to help his brother. That was like item, the toy that was used to help his brother, you know what I'm saying, when his brother was about to die for whatever reason like that. She's able to set his cuffs loose and help him escape. And he like falls out of the ship or whatever they're in and whatnot. And he is just like, Dek is just like, yo, this sucks. And what does he do? He finds his ship and he just starts to contemplate. He finds his brother's helmet and is like, let me go help my friend.
Yeah.
And he's like, and it's funny because it's almost like he was doing what Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing in the original Predator, when he found out that when he do the final challenge, he started Boy Scouting things, making weapons. He went back, found like a tooth or a claw from something and made that into his blade that got broken off. He made a mask And then he also there were these like slithering type snake acid spitting
Yeah, he went through
things.
them joints in, like at the beginning when he was going
Right.
through and they was spitting at him. He was
Yeah,
running. He was running through them
right.
as
And
fast as hell.
she said they're just hungry, and she pulled out like these berries, and he was able to coax one, and that thing ended up becoming his shoulder cannon, basically on it or whatever. And then there were also these little like juicy bug type things that he saw when he first got on the planet that expanded and could blow and like blew up. He collected a bunch of them along with getting the flower that spits the spikes, the poison, you know what I'm saying, the spike. He was able to contain that or whatever. He boy scouted up, and then who do we see? We see little man. What she referred to him as?
Bud.
Bud. She sees Bud, and then he goes over to Bud, looks at Bud, and is like, "I'm sorry." Spits at Bud, and Bud is like, "All right, bet, let's go." And
Your
then
team.
they proceed to raise pure hell on that Weyland-Yutani base. I mean, it was visceral. I mean, they were destroying them synths left and right. Bud was even taking these things out because remember, he looked at Bud and he saw that, and then he realized at before he spit on him, he realized or whatever. He was like, "Yo, that callus is your mama." And then when he touched and saw the could have spit stuff still on, he was like, "That's why she didn't." And that's when he spit on and was like, "Yo, let's go get your mom and let's go get our friend or whatever." And they basically wrecked shop throughout that whole base, took everybody out, was able to get Thea because in the process he went back to the Weyland-Yutani station that got trashed by the catalyst and got her legs, which basically started walking towards the direction she was where her the top half of her body was at. And that thing was just so funny how the legs were just like, ooh, not this way. You know what I'm saying? Knew exactly where to go, helping them out or whatever. She reattaches her legs to her body. They're fighting, taking out these synths, and Tessa is like pissed, like, "What are you doing here? Blah blah blah. You my sister." And I'm like, whatever. They fight. They even have Tessa's and also one of those on the Weyland-Yutani walkers that Ripley used in
Yeah,
Aliens
alien.
in
Yeah.
A2 Aliens, excuse me, to take out the queen alien or whatever. And they were able to incapacitate Tessa. And Tessa had at some point learned how to work that shoulder cannon, hooked it up to her, and they was able to incapacitate her. The callus was freed. It eats her, and we thinking everything is cool. But in my mind, I said, that thing about to blow up this thing from the inside. That's probably the only way to kill it. Blow it up from the inside. And sure enough, she did. She blew the callus up from the inside. The horror in that baby callus bud face was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. And then what do you see? Thea helps destroy Tessa with them and the callus and the baby callus, and they win. Everything seems cool. We're back on Yautja Prime. No, because she kept saying no, because after he killed and everything, Thea says, "You're a Yautja." And he says,
Not
"Oh
yet.
no, not yet." We're back on Yautja Prime. Ship comes in. Papa Yautja comes out and was like, "What the hell is this?" The doors open up. Dek comes out. He like, you dare? Oh, you want revenge? Is that what you want, little man?
I want revenge.
He said, "You want." Remember, he told. He said, "You want revenge?" Whatever. He was like, "Yo, you should have been called or whatever." He says, "I lost." He says, "I lost two of my sons." Whatever, like that. He's like, and then he comes out with these other. He was like, "Take care of my light work." Yeah, my man Dek put in that work.
Hey, don't forget that he had like this little small skull. It was like, yo, I
Hmm.
bought back a Calisk.
Yeah, yeah. He's
I
like,
said,
"Well, back a cat
man, get the hell out of
out of here."
here.
He straight up killed those two. And then he was like, the daddy was like, "Ah, shit, let's go." They start to fight. Dek, I mean, the way Dek's father worked his older brother, Dek put that work in on him. He did everything to him that he cut his arm off, incapacitated him, and he was like, "Woo! I guess the right son did die." So I
Hey,
said, he
damn
said,
boy, you did good.
"Damn boy, you did good. Yeah, hey, all right, bet. You in the clan now. Just come on and let me out, and we all good." And he says, Dek looks at him and said, "I have my own clan." And apparently they've been in space for a minute.
A minute.
Because Bud comes out and Bud is grown. Bud bites off Dek's dad head in front of the other predators, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Ah,
Ah, or
your man
whatever.
has a callus, has a pet. That's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
crazy. They're like that. They're like, "That is
This
nasty
nigga
work." Or
tamed the callus.
they're like, "Nigga, didn't tell you the cat. What did he do?" And so he like, "Yeah." And so everything seems cool. And she's like, "You're a Yautja now." He's like, "Yeah." Ah! It fades to black, but you still hear a sound. Next thing you know, it's a spaceship. I looked and said, "Oh snap! Weyland-Yutani actually have the balls to go to Yautja Prime." No, it ain't
Nah.
Weyland-Yutani.
Then I saw the
She says
silhouette. I said, yo, that's the same type spaceship that they had from Predator Killer Killers.
she said, "Friends of yours?" He said, "Ah, that's mom."
It's my mom.
He said, "That's mom." And you saw like the look like, dad was a problem. This heifer
Nah,
right here is
mom is
nothing
about to
to
be
mom is
stupid.
about to be stupid out here. And it fades to black. I cannot wait to see what comes of this right here. Because it
Yeah.
was just a whole, that's mom. That's mom coming or whatever. And mom seems like she's a bigger menace than dad is or whatever.
Overall, man, solid action movie.
Yeah.
It's a very much a throwback
Uh-huh.
to a lot of the action movies like we used to get all the time. Like I like that's the part that's kind of from the nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, I'm really liking how they, how they incorporating certain things, but they're not making it like just a bunch of nostalgia bait.
Right.
And the again, like it's to be honest, usually I try to find like a sort of like thematic through line. Ain't really none. It's just vibes. Found family is the really the thing here, and like
Mm-hmm.
some father son, trying to live up to your parental figure's hopes and dreams and all that stuff. Yada yada.
Coming of age, all that good
Yes,
stuff.
yes, yes, yes. So I'm the smallest and I'm the biggest. A lot of
Uh-huh.
very easy, underhand throw type tropes in this and
Mm-hmm.
themes in this.
Not the size of the
Great.
it's not the size of the dog, but the fight in the
Yeah,
dog that
yes,
matters.
yes, yes, yes.
All
All
that.
that, man. You can take the
Uh-huh.
Yautja off the planet. Can't take the planet out the
And out the
Yautja.
Yautja.
All the, whatever, however you want to put it, man.
Yeah.
Weyland-Yutani, they gonna kill Earth one way or another. They just out here just
Universal domination they
yes,
trying to
they
do.
just finding stuff that they could
Uh-huh.
potentially kill humanity. But so
You know what's the crazy thing about Weyland-Yutani?
what's that?
Weyland-Yutani, and this is just Antonio's belief. Okay, let me just say this right here. Weyland-Yutani to me is your stereotypical real life Earth person, where they feel like, because if you ask a lot of people that's on this planet right now, do you believe in extra extrastellar interstellar life or whatever,
Extraterrestrial.
extraterrestrial life on other planets and stuff, they're going to sit there and be like, no, no. And Whaley Utadi is acting like those people that be like, we're the only thing in this massive universe with billions of galaxy.
Or
We're the
or
only thing out here.
or
There's
the
nothing
least
else.
we're the best thing.
Or else we're the best, right? Or we're the best thing. The rest of the universe is our plaything to do as we will with it, or whatever. And that's what Weyland-Yutani is. When in the grand scheme of things, Earth and humans are basically a speck in the
Yeah,
universe,
it's like the folly of a man, but on a
Mm-hmm.
much like greater scale,
Mm-hmm.
and how you can find quote unquote humanity in any sort of like society, because even
Yeah.
with the with the Yautjas, they're very clandestine, and there
Mm-hmm.
is a hierarchy, or almost like a hierarchical order,
Mm-hmm.
and which says like the weak get called. You know how they just going around trying to run a fair one with the strongest person they meet, and if
Mm-hmm.
they do actually
Yeah.
win, they put them on ice so they can fight again later. So
Yeah.
like there's a lot of crazy lore with the Yautja. And the
Yeah.
fact that now we have a Yautja that has, for the most part, defected,
Yeah.
that's going to be very interesting to see, which leads me to my last point.
What's up?
This film made over $80 million. There was a lot of people review bombing this very early.
Uh-huh.
And I seen some very clickbaity ass YouTube thumbnails about this movie, and they were all wrong for the most part. So
Yeah.
Disney Predator, blah blah blah. It's a lot of that. It's been Disneyfied, like Predator's gay, and I'm like, dog. One, you obviously didn't watch the movie because you lame person did not get early screeners, and then two,
And you ain't see Predator Killer of Killers.
absolutely have not seen Killer of
I've
Killers.
seen that. If that's the case, if you
So
think
like
this
yeah,
is Disney-fied,
so there's a and Dan Trachtenberg made that as well.
uh,
Made this who wrote and directed this movie. So there was a lot of that going on, and for some reason, people really want Disney as a corporation to fail, which I just find kind of funny, seeing how all the other corporations they don't want to fail. So and then on top of how and the person that they need to fail, they don't want them to fail at all. And Donald Trump. So what I'm trying to say is this is a really decent movie, really
it is.
strong entry. And if this kind of tracks, then they're gonna make a sequel to this. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that this is successful for the only really famous person in this movie is Elle Fanning. And
Yeah,
she not even
a
like a
A-lister.
super A-lister
No.
as talented as she is,
Uh-huh.
she's not like it's not like we got Charlize Theron. So there's levels to this, and this is really well just off of essentially brand awareness, and hopefully like good word of mouth can like kind of give this movie some legs. Cause there ain't a whole lot coming out. Coming up weekend is The Running Man with Glenn Powell,
Yeah.
the Stephen King joint, which I'm definitely gonna try to see.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, it's
This is
like
just a remake of the original with Arnold, right? Or this
yeah,
is not like
definitely. Yeah,
okay. This is so this
it's still a Stephen King, the
right.
novel. So
I'm just because remember like about a couple of years ago they came out with like a sequel, like a supposed to be like a sequel. Was that Running Man? No, that was Blade Runner. Pardon me, not
it's
not
okay.
not Running Man. Sorry.
We're all old here, but
Mm-hmm.
nah. But on the real though, it's like I'm definitely can't wait for for a sequel or something in the Alien Predator universe. But yeah, that's all I got. Like I said, Pluribus episode 1 and 2 reviews on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, Lord willing, we'll be reviewing The Running Man.
Mm-hmm.
Because gotta support black people. Shout out Coma Domingo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really it, man.
Yep.
It's about to be real weird. Stranger Things has a stupid drop. We're gonna cover that as in our leisure,
In our
because
leisure, yeah.
I'm not about to be cramming watching that over Thanksgiving.
No.
And get ready for all the year in review stuff. If you guys have something that you've watched this year that we haven't, and you feel like that should be in the ranks for like season movies series, let us know in the comments below. And yeah, that's all we got. What else? Got anything else?
Nothing. What trailers did you see during this? I think the biggest trailer they showed during this for
That whack
me,
ass Avatar trailer. Like, yeah.
Avatar, and Mando and Grogu were the two biggest trailers.
See, I didn't see Manu and Grogu wasn't in my theater.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I
Nah,
had
I
man.
saw it was Running Man was a big one, and
I
then
didn't have that one.
bro, that Avatar trailer was like 3 minutes. It was
Yeah.
so long, and I hated every minute of it. And
So,
didn't make any
so this
sense.
is what's even more funny is what they doing, Rashad. What is the trailer that they're going to run during? What is that? Doom is what's the trailer they said like, it's a movie that everyone's trying to see. It was like,
Oh, Avengers Doomsday is gonna run in
yes,
the
Avengers
front of.
Doomsday is going to run, in Avatar, and I've heard people say, "I don't mind paying just to go see that trailer," and I
And
said,
I
"Yeah,
am not, I
yeah."
refuse to pay
I,
to see
so
Avatar.
so
I just have to wait.
I'll probably see Avatar because I've seen the first two. The first one I really liked. The second one I was like, it's a little goofy. It was really goofy with it, and then they got this one here. They got this. I might see it just because I'm just one of those people that
Hey,
if I
just
start,
make sure you dry yourself out. The movie's gonna be 3 hours and 5 minutes long.
are you serious?
Yeah, that's the runtime.
I, so real quick. Here's my thing with the Avatar movies. Are they the best written? No, but there's some beautiful things to watch. I mean, like, it's some beautiful things
Yeah,
to watch or
yeah.
whatever.
And
And like I said, the second one I just felt was very goofy, and how because you bring back Sigourney Weaver, but she died in the first one. You don't explain how she's back. Apparently, they're supposed to do that in this one, but then apparently, what? Any like two more? Ain't it supposed to be five total of these movies or what? Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. We'll. I might have to reconvene on this. We'll see. But yeah. That's all I got, bro.
nah, man, it's all good, man. Catch us on all the things, theuponfurtherreview.com, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, if you're nasty. Always YouTube, subscribe. Till the next time.